Hello, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm LaKendra Tooks, and it's time for Tooks Takes. Hey, y'all. You know what? I realized I haven't done a cute little Kendra catch up in a little while. I've been honestly very, very busy. I've been working a lot with my live streaming job. I've been traveling. That always, you know what? I know a lot of people love to travel. I do love to travel, but sometimes I don't love to travel. I don't like packing. I don't like unpacking. You got to get to the airport. La, da, 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 da. I don't really, actually, like low key, I don't really like traveling that much. Maybe I'm a little bit of a homebody, but obviously it's nice. You got to get out of LA sometimes. I highly recommend if you live in LA, every now and then you do need to get out of LA. You need to go and see like how normal people in the rest of America live. But let me tell you what else is going on with me. I finally started my yoga sculpt teacher training. You know, if you've ever listened to me on Jeff Lewis Live, you've been hearing me talk about this. There's the running joke of me working 2 45-minute shifts a week at the yoga studio. But I'm hoping to now be working at the yoga studio even more because I hope to be working there as an instructor soon. But what I'm learning, we've only had 3 class sessions so far, but I'm learning that I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to learn. And, for me, and I really want to encourage anybody because, I'm a lady of a particular age. If you're a lady of a particular age and there's something that's been on your, I don't even want to say a bucket list. I mean, because, listen, this is not a bucket list, okay? Like, we're not kicking nobody's bucket, okay? But I feel like if there's things that you want to do and you're like, oh, you put it off for whatever reason, I say do it. Never too late to start. Like, just go for it. I never would have imagined that I'd be adding this to my resume, that I'm going to be a certified yoga sculpt instructor. I never would have thought that I'd be adding fitness to my list of things to do, but I'm excited because I love to host, and I'll be hosting my fitness classes and helping everybody be a baddie at every age, only getting better with age, remaining ageless, so I'm really, really, really excited. I have to learn a lot about the body and anatomy, and I got to learn all the poses, and I got to tell y'all, breathe, inhale, exhale, lift, lower. Oh, it's a lot. I realize taking the class, you're just taking the class. You're not even thinking about it. Your teacher says, do jumping jacks. You just start doing jumping jacks. You're not thinking about it. Because if you start thinking, it's a hot power yoga class. Anybody who does power yoga, yoga sculpt, especially heated, you know what I'm talking about. If you start thinking about it too much, you'll be like, what am I doing? It's 100 degrees in this room. Like, why am I here? If you start thinking about it too much and you're like, I'm doing jumping jacks in a room that's 100 degrees and I'm choosing to be here. Matter of fact, I'm paying to be here. If you start thinking like that, you're going to want to leave the class. So when I'm in my yoga sculpt class, I'm not really thinking too hard. I'm just like, first of all, I do trust my instructors. So if whatever they tell me to do, they're like, do all these lunges. I'm like, okay, I just do it. And I hope that that's what one day soon, with the Tux technique, you guys will feel the same way. You guys will just trust me, and I'm excited to learn. Also, another way that I'm stretching my brain right now, j'apprends à parler français. That's right, y'all. I'm learning how to speak French. I'm excited. Bonjour, je m'appelle LaKendra. Je viens Los Angeles. I think I just said hi. My name's LaKendra. I'm from Los Angeles. But listen, y'all. I'm only I'm very new. Très nouveau. Okay, I'm very new. I'm like tout doucement. That means slowly, because I got a lot to learn. But I am excited to learn how to speak French, y'all. I recently, I don't know that I identify as a full blown Francophile, but I'm a little bit of a Francophile. And, I used to date a French guy, and he introduced me to, y'all know I love the 80s. Well, he introduced me to all this French 80s music that I had never heard of, and I really became obsessed. And during the pandemic, my brother and I were hanging out because, we started calling my apartment the club because it's we couldn't go out. So I was like, hey, come to my apartment. Hey, my place is the club. So we were just joking around. We're like, oh, sometimes it's really funny to me when there's French versions or popular songs that we know in English, I love to hear them. I love to hear the French version. I want to hear the Spanish version. Sometimes it's just interesting to hear how other people interpret things that are, usually associated with being in English. So my brother and I were like, oh, I wonder if there's a French version of that song by The Police, Every Breath You Take. So we're like, oh, is there a French version? It's probably like, Voulez-vous gonder. So anyway, that got us down this little French rabbit hole. This was, obviously like 6 years ago at this point. But I've consistently been digging a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on the Google Translate a lot, and I do love French culture, and I could see myself retiring to the south of France, and I do love Paris. So I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to speak French. Je prends à parler français. Now, listen, it's going to take me some time. Y'all know je suis très American. I am so American, okay? But I'm also very international. I know I just said didn't I just say I don't like to travel? Yeah, I don't like to travel, yet I'm very international, and I'm a little bit of a francophile. What can I tell you? I'm a complex girl. I'm a complicated girl. You know what? But you know what's not complicated? 90 Day Fiancé. That's why we watch 90 Day Fiancé. It's uncomplicated. It's just stupid, just dumb people. I have to say though, okay, let me give you my little quick assessment, because I do want to also talk about Ladies of London, and I want to talk about some other things that are going on in the in the entertainment news world. But okay, on 90 Day Fiancé, you know that we have Forrest and Sheena. Forrest is the guy who looks like a human version of Peter Griffin. He's got his girl Sheena. They've been together for 7 years. They finally are together in real life. He's been in the Philippines with her. Again, if you don't watch, it's all good. I'm gonna make you feel like you were there, and don't worry, this is gonna be quick, because it's kind of like, we're nearing the end of the season. It's like, y'all gonna get married or not? Y'all gonna get married and have some babies or not? It's called 90 Day Fiancé. Where's the fiancés? Okay. So Forrest and Sheena, they are engaged. They have done the deed. They have participated in coitus. They've consummated their relationship, which I think is great for them. I'm rooting for these two. Remember, Forrest has that super mean mom, Miss Molly. So Forrest is thinking, because he doesn't have enough money to bring Sheena to the United States, you have to make $26,500 a year. He don't make that. He's only on disability. So, but Sheena's like, listen, why don't we just stay here in the Philippines? Now, I already knew Forrest's mom was going to have a hard time with it. She's mean. She's controlling. Now, I will say this. Forrest is on the autism spectrum. So I feel like as a mother, Miss Molly is probably like, I really need to keep an eye on him. And I get that. I don't know a lot about autism, to be honest. And I've seen some of Love on the Spectrum, and of course I see the clips as they come out. And for me, I love seeing these autistic people grow up and be able to live fruitful lives as adults. And if anybody listening right now has autistic children or children that are on the spectrum, that's the goal, right? I mean, that's the goal for every parent, for their kids, to raise kids. They're going to be able to go out there and be successful adults, contributing members of a society. And I think that Miss Molly does need to give Forrest the chance to do that and make his own decisions a little bit more. And of course, at the news of him potentially thinking about staying in the Philippines, she flips her lid. She just can't take it. What are you doing? She's manipulating you. You're thinking with your pecker. Well, you know what? This man is a 32-year-old virgin. Let him think with his pecker now. Dude, all these years you ain't been using that thing. You can think with your pecker now if you want to. But by the end of all of this, Forrest, on his own, he decides, hey, you know what? Actually, Sheena, I think you and I, in the long run, it will be better for us to both be in the United States, which I do agree. Sheena's smart. She is a veterinarian in the Philippines. I don't know how that certification is going to go for her here in the States, but I do want Forrest to get it together. Forrest, if you're listening, be independent. It's time. You're 32. You may have a disability. That's okay. People with disabilities work all the time. There's plenty of people out there with disabilities, whatever they may be, who work hard and make tons of money. And Forrest, you can do that too. And I want to see him do it because I think that's going to really give him the confidence to stand up to his mom. But we've been seeing him here and there. He is getting better at standing up to his mom. So I'm like, Forrest, you know what, buddy? I want to see you be a real man. Get out there, get a job, get to work, make $26,500 a year, and you bring your lady over to the United States with you. And then you could be like, yeah, mom, I did that. Okay? You could do it, Forrest. I believe in you, Forrest. Forrest. Okay, let's also talk about, another couple got engaged on 90 Day Fiancé. Stig and Aviva. Now, y'all know Stig is the guy. He's the Belizean rapper. And Aviva, the American girl from Arizona, they just recently got engaged. Now, I remember when, like at the beginning of the season, and now I feel guilty because I don't know if Aviva had just put on a little bit of weight or what, but we were all, and I think a lot of us online were kind of speculating, like, is she pregs? Because she was looking a little bit thickums in her interview shots, but maybe she was just a little bit thickums because she's not pregs. But they did get engaged. Now, this whole time, and that's what I love about these reality show cameras. They're like receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots. They're gonna show a montage of you saying whatever it is that you said. So then, right before she's about to get on her flight to get back to the United States, Stig says to her, "I think we should live in the United States." And she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I thought this whole time that I was gonna come live with you here in Belize." And he's like, "No, I can have more connections in the States." Da, 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 da. And she's like, "Why are you telling me this now? This whole time we've been talking about me coming to Belize." But she laments. And then, so he's like, "Let's go to Arizona." But then once she gets on the flight, the producers are interviewing Stig. And Stig says, "Yeah, I want to go to America because I want to go to Houston. I have cousins there. I have an ex there." Just kidding. And it's like, why would you even joke about that? Like, she's going to see this. Also, like, Phoenix, Houston, we have a problem. Because Phoenix is over there. I know because I went to Phoenix once. And Houston's down there. I know because I went to Houston once when I was a kid. So I'm like, Stig. Ooh. So I'm worried. I am worried for Aviva because does Stig want to get to the United States? Yes. All these people want to get to the United States. Okay, let's be real. Like, yeah, they might be the love of your life, blah, 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 blah. But they're trying to get to the United States. They want to better their lives. They want to have opportunities in the United States. Stig is no different. But I'm a little bit worried about Stig because I'm like, do you think you're going to come to the United States and be a rapper? Because we have enough. Please, if you are thinking about immigrating to the United States, but you're a rapper, please stay where you at. We do not need any more rappers here. And it's like, I feel like he's a celebrity in Belize. To me, I'm like, you should just stay in Belize. You're beloved here. This is your country. She wants to come, but I guess you don't really make a lot of money. I guess he doesn't make a lot of money being a rapper in Belize. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how much money he's going to make as a rapper in the United States. It's like we already have Jay-Z. We already have LL Cool J. I'm giving away my age. I do not know any rapper that has released a song in the last 2 years. Wait, what about the Migos? I know them. Coachella. Coachella's happening this weekend. Clearly, I'm not there. Clearly, like, do I want to go to Coachella? I've never been to Coachella. And I think I'm about to age out of Coachella. I think last year might be my last chance to go. And I don't know. I like to just go to a concert, I don't need all of the pomp, the circumstance. Also, I don't know. I know Justin Bieber's there. Justin Bieber, we were just talking about this. Justin Bieber got paid the most that anyone's ever gotten paid to do Coachella. He got paid more than Beyonce. And I don't want to get into another race chat because we did that last week. And I'm not taking nothing away from Justin Bieber. He is fantastic, okay? However, Beyonce is up there doing 5, 6, 7, 8, ba, 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 and he's up there with the computer. But he got paid more. But that's the difference, y'all. You see? That's the difference. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move along to Anna Lynn and Jovan, okay? Because Jovan made me mad when he was at the jewelry store acting like he couldn't afford to spend $267 on a ring. I'm like, Jovan, put it on layaway. Do something. But Also, y'all, okay, this might be a little effed up to say, but every time I see Javon, all I can think is like Big Red. He looks like Big Red or like Reynaldo Rey. Black people know about Reynaldo Rey. Any black people listening right now, y'all, I'm telling you, Jovan looks like Reynaldo Rey. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at him the whole time like this is a young Reynaldo Rey right here. But him and Anna Lynn, I'm not a fan of Jovan, but clearly, Anna Lynn sees something in him. And when they did their vow renewal, and he was saying his vows, and they didn't really seem sincere to me, but Anna Lynn was buying it, and good. I don't have to buy it. We don't have to buy it. If she buying it, great. And then I do want to commend you, Jovan, because I've been giving you a hard time, but I love that you surprised her with that ring. That is sweet. That is what you do. That is what you do, man. Surprise that woman in your life with a piece of jewelry. Give it to her. Give her a piece of jewelry. Do it. So I was happy that Jovan did that. We have to talk about Elise and Joshua, because I always say this every season. I feel like I have to tell these girls, did you do your research on the country? I don't think Elise looked up the weather forecast in Australia. Apparently, it's chilly in Australia. So if you're going to Australia, make sure you pack a jumper because it's going to be a bit chilly. But y'all know she buys all her clothes at Strippers R Us, which I don't have a problem with that. I love it. Listen, y'all. I got 10 pounds to lose right now. Let me lose these little 10 pounds. Y'all might see me shopping down at the Strippers R Us store too. Coming out in just a strappy little something or another that just barely grazes over your areolas, and you get straps here, straps there, but she's always cold. So she's always cold. So I'm like, girl, put some clothes on. Like, not because I'm trying to police what you wear, but I just don't want you to be cold all the time. Like, listen, I love a little slutty outfit. I'll be shopping at Fashion Nova before I take a vacation. But if it's cold, put on a jacket. But here's the thing. Here's another area where she didn't do her research. She wanted to do something nice for Josh, like an adventure. By the way, when I see a guy's dating profile and he says that he likes to do adventures, I immediately swipe left because I don't do adventures. I'm not an adventurous person. I don't swim. I can't swim. I could see a beautiful waterfall. And if the water is like, I can wade in the water. That's the most I'm doing. But so this excursion that she like signed up for, because I don't even want to say she planned it, because I don't think she planned at all. I don't think she knew what this was going to entail. I don't think she knew that she was going to have to be like rappelling through water and jumping and swimming, and there's ropes. And then the poor girl got hypothermia. Joshua loved it, but she got hypothermia, and I know me. I know, listen, you look at me the wrong way, I'm gonna get hypothermia. So I know I wouldn't be able to do that. My heart went out to her. She was just a screaming and crying. I was like, girl, I feel you. But also, again, this is why we have to do our research, because I already know for me, I would be doing my research. It's like rocks and a big old, you gotta be on a bungee cord, baby. You can go do that on your own with your friends. I'll meet you back at the house. I'll have some chicken wings in the air fryer, and that's how we're gonna do it. But yeah, I don't do adventures, and clearly neither does Elise. Now, we had another emotional moment. Elise is an emotional roller coaster. Oh my God, look at my nails. I did my nails myself. Don't they look good? Oh. So anyway, Elise has been on an emotional roller coaster. She really wants to meet Joshua's son. I don't understand. Why can't we FaceTime with your son? Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because his mama said no. Period. Let me tell you something. Like I have never like seriously dated anyone with a child, but for me, if the mama says no, the answer is no. Okay? And the kid's mom probably said, I don't want my child involved in this crazy reality show. So I don't blame the mom for that. And also, now let me tell you this too, because Joshua tells Elise, I'm in love with you. And she's like, cool, thanks. You know what I mean? So, he's in love with her. Is she in love with him? It seems like she still has so many red flags. Like she doesn't trust him. And I think he seems like a nice guy. Joshua seems cool to me. But we see for the previews next week, it looks like they're going to have a one last spat before she hightails it back to the United States. Speaking of one last spat, I'm going to skip right ahead to Trisha and Rick because I don't really care about Laura and Beer Can. I'm sorry, but I don't. But actually, I'm not sorry. I just really don't care about them. So I'm not going to talk about them. And this is my show. It's Ken's Day. We do things Ken's way. But anywho, okay, let's talk about Trish and Rick because as y'all remember, Trish is 25. She's from Madagascar. She's beautiful. Rick is 52. He got 5 kids. I don't know how many baby mamas, and he's always talking like this. I just love Trish. I'm in love with Trish. But here's the thing. Trish saw on his phone that while they've been together, he's been texting his ex, the same ex that he went and had a sex trip with while Trish was unavailable on the phone for a few days. He's like, oh, you didn't answer your phone, so I decided to go to Colombia for a sex trip with my ex. I hope that's cool. Hope that's okay. And it's like, no, dude, that's not cool. That's not okay. And now you're sitting here texting her? But let me tell you something, Trish. Now, Trish talked a couple episodes ago about how her mother actually abandoned the family. So she was raised by her father and her father's side of the family. Let me commend whoever raised Trish. You raised a beautiful, smart, confident girl because we have seen this show many, many a time. And these girls, they let these guys just get away with just anything. And it's like, no, you got to say no. And to me, when you really mean business, you block them. If you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to my ex anymore, but you haven't blocked them, and I'm talking about block, okay? BLOQ. You got to block them on the phone. You got to block them on social media. You got to block them on the WhatsApp. And I would take it a step further. What one of my friends had me do, she's like, I'm going to block him. Then you change his name to something that I would never be looking up. But then I changed it to like Quentin, and she knew. She knew. But I was so proud of Trish for just being like, no, I'm not going to be somebody's second choice because Rick is sitting there like, I don't know. I can't make a decision. I don't want to block her. I still have feelings for my ex. I'm over here like, dude, you're 52. 52 and you got 5 kids. And he's like, Trish is the best thing that ever happened to me. You got 5 kids. And you're telling me this girl's the best thing that ever happened to you? Not even one of your 5 kids? Dang, Rick. But see, ladies, this is why we're giving the youngins a chance. Because this mother effer, 52 years old, talking about, oh, I don't know, I can't choose. Well, I'm going to tell you what he wanted to do. What he wanted was to have his little Colombian cake and eat Trish too. That's what he wanted. And I'm so proud of Trish because Trish said no. And ladies, let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of power in the word no. And I always say this. No is a complete sentence. You want to cut? No. Well, can I borrow? No. Well, how about no? And you don't even have to put any punctuation. You can just say no. And I was so proud of Trish. But we see in the previews for next week, she does go meet him at the airport. Also in the previews for next week, we see that we're going to get more of lying Lisa, the lesbian with a wig on, and Daniel. So we're going to see what is the saga with that. I've also been seeing a lot of scuttlebutt online because apparently they've already filmed the tell-all. And apparently Lisa was getting violent with maybe like Elise. I'm like, girl, I feel like Lisa does have that wildebeest inside of her. And you don't want to see that wig just charging towards you. So I don't, and Elise is so thin too. I mean, it don't seem like a fair fight. But listen, okay. So because I've been traveling and I've been so busy, I have not really been watching Bravo the way that I should. And I know I said this last week. I'm still not caught up on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I still haven't watched the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I know, y'all. What can I say? I've been busy. Right now, I don't know. Like, I'm going to have to just I'm going to just be giving y'all the Cliff's Notes version of this happened and that happened. And then that was the end of the show. So anyway, I did turn the channel back to Bravo to watch a little bit of Ladies of London. And I'm enjoying Ladies of London. It's just fun little cheap manufactured drama. Nothing too deep at all. Like right now, it's a case of like, oh, I don't like your outfit, darling. I love that they have the guy there, Mark Francis. I love how he's like, oh, darling, I could never. Rah, 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 rah. I like that. I love a good old British accent. But then, like, Margot's really having a row. Margot, my American girl. And I'm like, as my fellow American, come on, be cool with the British folks. She's having the row with Kimmy. You got to take Kimmy with a grain of salt. You know, she's always drinking. She's always drunk. She don't even know what she's saying half the time. She's always drinking. She's always got a cocktail in one hand and some type of cranial apparatus on her head at all times. So I'm like, leave Kimmy alone. And same with Mark. Like, he's just being shady. It's fun shade. Him being like, I tell you, like, your outfit, love. Oh, you're wearing pigeon feathers. You look like Cruella de Vil, love. So what? They're just having fun. And then the one girl, I think her name is Lottie. Is her name Lottie? Lottie brought up a very good point. Margot, you did a movie where you're having sex on film at the age of 21 and you're getting offended that someone says they don't like your outfit. And then we also got to meet Margot. She has teenage stepsons. And all I want to know is, have they seen that movie? Have they seen it? So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I like Ladies of London. I don't feel like there's like a whole lot to talk about there. It's just like fun, silly little drama that I feel like that's how Housewives used to be. And I do want that back. I feel like sometimes Housewives gets a little too deep and a little too dark. And I like Ladies of London. It's a nice little palate cleanser. I will watch The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I really just want to sit down and be able to watch it, and be able to enjoy it. Also, a little update on the love triangle, lust triangle between Bachelor the Spatula, East, West, North, South, and my girl Sierra. Apparently, so Amanda released a little statement, and this is what I want y'all to do, okay? Don't fall for it. What she did, she posted a picture of a dog with this little ChatGPT, little like, oh, you know, and it's just like, it's so inauthentic. And I just saw a story about Stassi Schroeder from Vanderpump Rules referring to Amanda as a pick me. And honestly, y'all, that is the Tooks takeaway of the day. Don't be a pick me in any area of your life. Don't be a pick me when you're dating. Don't be a pick me at work. You know, like, the only person that really needs to pick you is you. So if you're going to be a pick me, just be a pick me with yourself. Like, I pick me. Don't be a pick me with somebody else. Don't be out here like that. That's what I feel like it is. That's what Stassi was saying about Amanda too, that she craves that male attention. And I'm saying that as someone who's been there, someone who was craving the male attention, the male gaze. And now it's like, F a male gaze. I'd rather hang out with some male gaze. You feel me? I'd rather hang out with them anyway. So that's the Tooks takeaway of the day. Don't be a pick me. Don't be a Bachelor the Spatula flipping on your friends. The only pick me you need to be is a pick me for yourself. Pick you, okay? I pick me. And I want you to pick you, okay? Because it's springtime and you're a flower. What better time of year than to pick a flower? And you're a beautiful little flower. And I want to just say this too before I get out of here. As part of my Tooks takeaway, I do love to always leave you guys, like, we throw some shade. It's fun shade, but I do love to always leave you guys with some love. And I've been jokingly saying, I just want to meet a man who's ready to marry me and buy me a castle. And last weekend I was hanging out with my little niece and nephew, and my little nephew, he's 2. We were playing outside. So adorable. My little niece, she's 4, and she's such a girly girl. So we see this field of, I don't even know what you call those things, where you blow it and all the little seeds pop out and you're supposed to make a wish. Well, she's 4. She calls them wishes. She's like, oh, a wish. So she picks one up, and I said, what are you going to wish for? She goes, a castle. And I was like, oh my gosh, Auntie Kendra's been wishing for a castle too. Out of the mouths of babes. I deserve a castle. She deserves a castle. You deserve a castle. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Always supporting Tooks Takes. Make sure you follow us on all the socials at LaKendra Tooks, at Tooks Takes. We are on our way to becoming the #1 podcast on earth. And it's all because of you, Ken's Day crew. Mwah, mwah, mwah. As always, I hope and pray that my light helps you find your light and you shine so bright. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.